trillions could flow through cryptos. And you and I, your award-winning Stellar Excellent developer, Zioncoins founder, could benefit. Now, it's all about the fundamentals. Because without the fundamentals, without something fundamental about whatever it is that you hold, your asset, you as a person, your business, there just isn't any weight to technicals. So, for that, we need to keep up to date on the sentiment. We need to understand what's happening in the daily news events. So that's what we're going to be looking at today. The news. Zioncoins crypto news. But before that, I just want to discuss the fact that I haven't been here for a while and I now need to start shooting more and more videos, which is time consuming. So you'll probably find me on X more often. I may only be able to get one video out to you a week, which might be a news roundup for the week. So let's get into it now that we've discussed that. The path is clear, okay? It's all about money. And when we're talking crypto, we're talking new money. We're talking technologically advanced money. We're talking decentralization, power, empowering people, empowering small businesses, money, power. And this money that we have the power to wield can go around the world within seconds using the right blockchain. And when we send money to our developers, it's done in seconds. They send us an invoice. It doesn't have to be a fancy program, just a standard invoice. We see that invoice, we take the address, the money's gone with a scan of a face through our new Zig-free V3 dApp, which will be in beta within months to come, where you can enjoy your airdrops and retro games where you'll be getting paid. Zin for every point that you get, paid when played. And also, you'll be able to stake, swap, and create liquidity pools. Invite your friends and get paid. There's just so many ways that you'll be able to use Zioncoins. It'll have so much functionality to it. And that is through our VABC program, Value Added by Community. Because if you're using a dApp, any of those services, you're adding value to Zioncoins. Now, what's going on in the news today? Before I go through any headlines, I just want to state that money, power, world is, in fact, the title of this video. But there's more to it than meets the eye, because that is precisely what governments around the world are all about. Money, power, wealth. Collecting the most wealth gives you the most power, gives you the most control over the world. This is why we have a reserve currency called the US dollar. And at the moment, the US seemingly control the world with the dollar. But they know the game's up. People are becoming smarter and smarter with the advance of the internet, right? So, they know that, we know that, we have our own money, cats out of the bag. they can't put it back, right? So what do we need to know to ensure that we can get the most value out of this or these crypto assets? We need to understand the macro markets, right? We need to trade these assets to give them value, right? And because these assets are so new, they're so volatile. I like to say that the markets, the crypto markets, in fact almost any markets, are like children. They're volatile. They're up and down, left and right, like their emotions are all over the place. So when you're trading these assets, you have to be emotionless. Have a plan and stick to it. Find a decent asset. Top 10 is fine, you know, on a coin market cap list. You find a project that you like, that you can see that's doing well, that has a great USP, that something about it, like a diamond in the rough maybe. Like Zioncoins, I don't know, just, you know, just putting it out there. Yeah, then you know, pick some of that asset up. Links in the description if you want to pick up Zioncoins and get it through Lobster. Do get it as soon as you can, because staking will be coming. You will get free airdrops with ZigBee 3. Just plug that in there. But let me just say this: follow the macro markets. We want to look at something in specific. We want to look at the 10-year yield, because that ultimately governs how well other markets are going to be doing. The yield is set because treasury premiums are brought up or sold. Okay? The yield will go up and down according to how well premiums are doing. It's gilts over here in the UK. Obviously, the higher the yield, the poorer performance the treasury. So they want to sell it so you get higher yield. Okay? Now, knowing that, if we've got high rates right now, it means that the markets, stocks, equities, shares, cryptos even, will not be doing so well. So having that at the forefront of your mind every time you're, you know, thinking about trading, swing trading, whatever. I don't recommend day trading. I don't day trade crypto. In fact, if anything, I'd recommend that you just brought the dips and held. Honestly. If there is anything that you should do, it's that. But I swing trade, and yeah, why not? You should try too. But what I would suggest is follow the macro markets, keep an eye on what's going on in the news, because the news actually is weighing in to the price of crypto right now. Because as these geopolitical events expand, like Trump being re-elected, which is great for crypto because he's so pro-crypto. The whole family are big into crypto. You know, we have the new crypto bill. Banks will soon be using crypto. It's inevitable. Because more and more people will be using crypto. They want to get ahead of the curve. Game changer. Now, with that said, you're trading the market, you should be looking at things like that. You should be looking at the sentiment. So we want to be looking at what's going on in terms of like a heat map or like a sentiment gauge. So we've got fear and greed indicator. That's going to tell us, you know, is the market neutral? Is it overbought? You know, how well is the market doing? And it's generally an indicator to tell us, oh, is it a good buying opportunity or not a good buying opportunity? Have a look at that. Go on Zioncoins.net and you'll be able to see fear and greed indicator. You'll be able to see the heat map. So at the moment, BTC is up 0.15%, ETH up 0.27%, XRP down 1.8%, and we've also got coin market cap listing, Zioncoins market cap listing, with the latest prices. And at the moment, Bitcoin is at 94.6 thousand, Ethereum at 1800, XRP at $2.13. Now it's dipped quite a bit and it's sort of holding the ground. And what I want to say about that is this is almost like the 22 cents days or 20 cents days of XRP like several months ago. You know, this thing was trading at 22 cents, 25 cents for like what felt like a decade, and now it's 10x'd, and it's going to hold that. And I'd fully expect $10 to $20 in this up and coming bull cycle. When we have this big huge macro event, I think nothing's happened right now. We haven't had a serious bull run, but I'm expecting a 10, 20x from here. I may be wrong. We might only get anything from like a 3x to a 10x from here for the whole crypto market, because there's only been a few good performers since Trump's election, since the Bitcoin halving. So that's my take on what's going on in the market. Stellar XLM at 0.226 cents, and you can look at that yourself. Now, news. Further delays to Litecoin's ETF requests public comments. The US Security and Exchange Commission, the SEC, has further delayed making decisions on Canary Capital's proposal for a spot Litecoin ETF. Now, I didn't even know that until just reading that today, because I haven't really been keeping up with that myself. But there you go. It just goes to show what's important, because actually this comes after the agency's delay on several other applications for spot ETFs last week, including XRP, Hedera, and Dogecoin, but hadn't done so for Canary Litecoin ETF, sparking hope that the regulator might have a different plan for this fund on Monday. There you go. So it's clear something's going on with the SEC right now, and this next article might have something to do with that. Trump's ties make crypto Democrats' allies stump brakes on bills. Senate Democrats are barking at advanced landmark stablecoin legislation due to President Donald Trump's increasing personal benefits from his own crypto ties. Over the weekend, Sen. Ruben Gallego, I want to say, Gallego, a Democrat elected to represent Arizona with a $10 million in backing from crypto super PAC Fairshake, warned with 8 of his colleagues that they would not vote to advance the current version of the Guiding and Establishment National Innovation for US Stablecoins of 2025. Well, I think it's called a Genius Act. The Senate's stablecoin bill, the Senate would need 60 votes to move. So that could be why the SEC are delaying, because they could be getting pushed back from the Senate. And that's Senate, they answer to the Senate, right? The SEC answers to the Senate. And then we got SHIB plunging 7.4% on the week, but market sentiment remains cautiously optimistic, and the gauge is like at 50. You know, about a month ago, a month or so ago, 3 weeks ago, it was like at 10. You know, we've not seen any big moves yet. So sentiment has something to do with the market in a medium term. But as I said, buy and hodl the dips. Leading House Dems will block crypto market structure bill hearing, as we said. Bitcoin likely still rat poison at Berkshire Hathaway without Warren Buffett. So we can see where that rhetoric's coming from. It's deep within the organisation. What else have we got? Reflections on those MSTR MicroStrategy Bitcoin earnings. MicroStrategy earnings came on May the 1st. My morning media stops last Thursday. Here and here. Asks for preview. We don't talk about stocks, so I plan to zoom out and hit the theme. While preparing, I had suppressed the eye roll. Reflects that MicroStrategy targets MicroStrategy, of course. This article isn't making any sense, so I can't read that because it's nonsensical. But moving on. US crypto market structure bill unveiled by House lawmakers. Bitcoin additional 330 billion of corporate treasuries inflows by 2029. We could see that. So corporate treasury buying Bitcoin could reach 330 billion by the end of 2029. Broker Berkstein said in a research report on Monday. MicroStrategy is likely to be the largest buyer with an additional 124 billion of the world's largest crypto. In the broker's bull case, the company led by Michael Saylor announced a further 21 million at the market common stock offering last week to buy more Bitcoin. The US pro-crypto regulation regime has further accelerated the corporate ownership. Clearly. And this isn't just going to stop there. It's governments around the world are going to start clocking on to this. They have to clock on to this. CoinDesk 20 performance update. near drops 7.4% in an index decline over the week. And this is quite common for most of the cryptos. We're going to get ebbs and flows. In any case, keeping up with the news is important. Understanding what's going on technically, macro events, is important. We can look at the technical analysis, just tally up what's going on in the 10-year yield, what's going on with the US dollar, what's going on with that basket of currencies. And that's going to give us a clear picture as to where the crypto markets could be going. So we can trade that, we can swing trade that, and hopefully build ourselves a better life. In any case, good to be back. I'm Nathan, aka Nathan of Zion. Make sure you check out the next video. I don't know when that's going to be, but have a great day. Take care now, and see you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe.